We're chasing comedy, working on jokes, working on bits, seeing what sticks, seeing what stinks. We're Brian and Dustin, and we're chasing comedy.
How's the ship?
Good. Yeah, it's like, it's like good ones and bad ones. And, it's like the good ones are, I'm doing a ship this week, and I'll say the name Royal is great. And so I'm having a good time with them. And I had a ship last week that was a Royal, and it was great because it's very like some ships, they treat you like they get comedy. Like I would literally on record say that Royal gets what stand-up comedy is. They have a comedy club of 200 people. The sets are like 20 minutes. It's all adult. It's like it's multiple shows, so people could just go to the club. And at the end of the cruise, they do a theater show, so you can do new material in the theater. So it's perfect. It's set up. You can do the same set if you want, and you can do new stuff if you want. Nobody cares. Like there's no pressure on the comic to do something that's unnatural to what they usually do in a club. And so I feel like that's how you get the best experience for the comic and the audience and everybody. And sometimes the crowds are whatever, they suck or whatever, and they're late and they're drunk on their drunk package or whatever. And sometimes they're phenomenal, just as good as in a club. It just depends on you and, the moment in the crowd or whatever. But just like anytime we grab the mic, but it's good. And then the ones that, I'm not a fan of is like when it's like you got the kids in the front and all that stuff, and and then they want you to do a completely different set, and I struggle with that because it's like they'll say, hey, look, do a family show, and then do a completely different adult comedy show, and then you're like, all right, dude, well, what happens is sometimes you'll pull out all that stuff that you're not doing on the family show, but then when you just do the edgy stuff, it's like just edge, and there's no buffer joke because you use that one on the other show. So sometimes I struggle with trying to do the stuff, and I'm figuring it out though. But I'm definitely, this week I have another Royal, so I'm happy. I would do Royal for the rest of my life. They're the best ship ever, and they just really get comics, and you don't feel like a cruise comic. You just you go to the club, they got backstage, everybody's cool. It's like, just two comics, always at least two. So it's not like you're by yourself. It's the ones where I'm by myself is rough.
Who are you working with? Who are you working with on your last one?
Last week was a guy, 1 week was Andrew Kennedy. And he's great. Oh, he's a big New York guy. And so I hadn't seen him in 20 years. But that's the thing when, New York comics, we're a band of brothers. We always have some history, and it's great to see somebody.
Yeah, and has Andrew been doing the ships? Because I haven't seen him in a long time.
He does ships. Yeah, he's full-time ships, man. He does a bunch of them. And
he was always funny.
Yeah, he's great. He's got those voices. He's like you. He's got voices and impressions and stuff. So he's very talented like that, and a cool dude. Yeah. So that's always nice, because that's the thing when you're on a ship by yourself. You got no other comic. I mean, I try to make friends with the jazz band or whatever. Nobody wants anything to do with me. I'm trying to hang out with the acrobat guy. Hey, we're kind of the same. You're just searching for somebody that kind of gets your world, because you're just nobody gets what the comic world is. You're hoping that somebody that does backflips to music might get your world. So when it's another comic, it's even if it's I don't know them or whatever, it's I still know you. You're a comic. I know what your life is. And so and then last week it was a newer guy, Carlos Hernandez, and he's a guy out of Miami, and I'd met him before, so I kind of had a little relationship with him, and he was cool, and it was fun. And it's funny, you got to get the rhythm with the comics. That actually affects sometimes what I do, because it's you flip flop and one closes, one opens, and with Andrew, I was like, dude, I'm not following that impressions and all that crazy shit. I'll go first. It's not a big deal. And you figure it out. You have your rhythm, so that helps a lot. And I have some new guy this week. I don't know. He's an Irish dude out of Boston or something. I don't know. I forget his name already, but yeah, Irish
guy.
But I think as long as there's another comic, it feels natural, because you're backstage.
Yeah, sure.
Because
I probably, my original trauma of having to do my one boat that I did, and I did well. It wasn't. I just hated the feeling I felt like I was running out the 24-second clock. Like the whole thing, the whole thing was basically like looking at my watch and going and filling it with patter and stretching out everything. But of course, I was really young at the time. Like I didn't have enough material to justify having to do 45 minutes on a ship of pure clean stuff. I was just like, hey guys, isn't this great? Like with kids and old people. And I was like, I have no desire to be, vamping, and going, hey, we're on a ship. How cool. Like I was like, but I'm sure now it's and it's if you're not performing for kids and old people, like where you have to watch what you say.
I mean, it's still old people. You're still, you're porting out of Texas, you're porting out of Florida. So there's going to be some of that. I have the tendency, like, I got in trouble on one ship. I don't know if they're going to have me back. I don't think they are. It's like, because I was like, I was too edgy, and it was just like, but I couldn't help myself, It was just like, they pissed me off, and I kind of just started talking about some stuff I shouldn't have talked about. There was a guy wearing a Kirk shirt or whatever, the Charlie Kirk shirt and all that stuff. So it was like, I knew they were going to go after me and complain. And I don't like that. I hate doing comedy under the guise of like somebody fills out a survey and you're not booked next week, and I do hate that. And I don't think the Royal Ship, they're protective of their comics and stuff. But yeah, you don't want to go too political or anything but I do kind of play with them, and I did that role play thing where we were talking about the role play jokes. I did thing. I said, yeah, do you ever do the liberal and the Republican? It's great. You both get and they're
right. That's funny. That's funny.
So sorry, you got to bleep that. But it's like, we're pros. We figure it out as we're up there, how far you can go and how far you can't go. And there are cool Floridians and there's cool Texans. And so they're always in the crowd. You just have to, navigate around the ones that are going to get stupid or whatever.
Well, yeah. And I love the concept of navigating the political challenges of comedy. I kind of enjoy it. It's really tough though, because I've noticed that crowds, even if you don't do anything even remotely negative, just the mention of something in the word, you're going to get people frightened, and they actually appear offended that you're talking about it, even if what you're saying is benign. Like I which brings me, segue to a bit that I want to do, where somebody came up to me, and if you talk about politics, just off stage with anybody or whatever, and you say anything akin to, look, the Democrats suck too, or whatever, or this, if you say anything like even where you go, yeah, I don't like politics, or if you show any sign of, I don't know, what's the word, apathy, then you have the ultra liberal people who are anti-Trump jumping in. Are we allowed to talk about this, or we have to bleep this? I mean,
just saying, you can do it today. Just don't go too crazy.
Yeah. So just saying, if you talk about politics, we'll clean it up. We'll talk about politics. Someone will go, well, what would you have done if, say, like, I didn't vote, or you say I'm not into politics, or I try not to watch the news. Oh, what would you have done if you were in Nazi Germany in 1938? You know what I mean? Or like, and I love this setup for this, because it's because I just go, well, at that point, since I've been imbued with the power of time travel, I think I would have a vista of possibilities that I could do. One of the things I would do is go back in time about 10 minutes before this conversation started and not engage in it, right? Right? Something really funny. Or while I'm at it, I could go back and stop your parents from meeting at the dance, and then you wouldn't be here either. Like, if you really want to go down this road, and don't piss me off, I'm a time traveler now, right? Like
I'm definitely buying Apple stock. I'll tell you that, or something like that. You know what I mean?
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. Well, first of all, I'd buy Apple stock. That's funny. That's great. I love that. That's really funny. Okay. I'd buy Apple. Before or after I bought Apple stock. I can be, you know what I mean? Because because that's really funny because then I'll get to baby Hitler, but first I gotta buy Apple stock. Okay, I'm gonna buy Microsoft, Apple, and Nvidia.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna go back 15 minutes before this conversation started and not engage in it with you, right? I'm gonna go back in time. Kill your parents or stop them from meeting. If you really want to go down this road, dude, you've just
and I'm gonna sleep with Lisa. You know what I mean? I don't know why I blew. I had a chance.
I'm gonna bang your wife. While I'm at it.
Like a missed opportunity. Some sort of missed opportunity is funny as well. Like a personal missed.
Say that again.
A personal missed opportunity. Like I'm taking Lisa to the dance. I'm gonna bang. Something like just some sort of missed opportunity.
Right, yes.
That's personal.
I would heal my dad's childhood.
Yeah.
Right. I would find baby Hitler. And take him and give him to a loving family. I would go back in time and find my father before he was wounded and take him and put him in a good home. Right. Then I'd punch you in the face out of nowhere 10 minutes before I met you, and you wouldn't even I'd see me coming. I don't know. No,
it's one of those applause break bits where it's like it goes on way too long, and but it intersects with personal and then punching the guy, the person in front of you, and then just some funny, missed opportunities or funny investments.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
No, I love this. Because it opens up anything. And I also want to do something meta with it and if you guys don't laugh, I'm going to go back in time before you guys get here. And steal your tickets. I don't know. What would that be?
I don't even know what the joke is. Juggle,
but,
so you guys like me better.
Yeah. But something where I can correct the joke not working. I don't even know. That's really funny. If I would go back in time and get George Carlin to help write this bit, you know what I mean? Or you could do anything, you could, I don't even have the joke because it's such a wide vista.
Yeah.
You go, and in the club itself, I would go back to the beginning of this bit now that it's not working and stop myself from doing this bit, right? Because I don't have a punchline for it, or I don't even know. There's just so many things you can do with this.
I would explore with it because it's it's a silly, it also could be in the moment as well. It's one of those things where you just kind of let it fly, and I think the more ridiculous it is, the funnier, and
right.
I think it works in that way where it's just it's not supposed to
some comedic. Welcome to comedic quantum leap, that's pretty funny.
That would be funny.
Quantum leap.
That's funny. Yeah, a quantum leap for comedians. Yeah. I'll tell you what. I won't be banging that waitress in Minnesota. I'll tell you that.
In Tulsa.
Yeah. at the Looney Bin. Won't be banging her this time around.
That would be funny. Oh my God, what a funny! That is such a funny idea. The idea that it's such a funny idea that a comedian, you give him the power of time travel. And all he cares about is fixing the gigs and going back and I would have done a much different set for my Montreal audition,
Well, last week I would have done that clan joke on the cruise ship. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. There you go. That's such a funny, the most narcissistically self-absorbed take on time travel.
That's a funny short. That's a funny short. You should do that as a short. Where you're just you get these powers, and all you're doing is trying to fix the clubs that won't have you back.
Right. Yeah. There's
it's
something
so
really
limited because comedians are so limited in their scope.
No, but there's also, that's totally different angle now. Is I wrote this joke a while ago. It never worked, but I thought if I could do anything, you know what I would do? I would take Elon Musk and Peter Thiel and all these guys that are ruining our lives and get them laid in high school.
Yeah. Well, that would solve everything. That would solve everything.
I know.
School shootings, assassinations. Yes. Yeah, everything. Hitler.
I'm telling you.
If Hitler just met a nice Jewish girl, he would have been all right.
Right. I'm telling you. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's comedic quantum leap. If you gave me the power, I would take all this stuff, go back in time and find Elon Musk and get the guy laid. I'd be a dating coach, a historical interstellar time traveling dating coach. so that the world wouldn't be ruined by all these jag-offs, you know, like anyway, something like that. There's so many bits here that it's just
it opens itself up. That could be a whole set, just time travel. You could just kind of
the problem is I don't even know where to begin because it's so, you know, comics going.
No, it begins the way you said it, where just somebody was talking to me behind, you know, if you were in Hitler, well, that's how you started. The way you started is the way you started.
Yeah.
Because it's like if you started out like, if I was a time traveler, like then it's goofy. But if you started with like a real experience, you're talking to somebody backstage, you're like, oh, I would time travel just to get out of this conversation. It's funny. And then it's simple. It's simple. Everybody wants to get out of a conversation. And like, it's not because the first thing that comes to people's mind when it comes to time travel is like solving some huge thing or making money. It's not like getting out of a conversation. So that already is a very funny way to start it. And then you just go, then you build on it.
This is funny because there's been things like this. Ben Stiller had a great thing called C- Time Traveler on the Ben Stiller show, played by Janine Garofalo. And she goes back in time as a time traveler, but she has no knowledge of history, so she's of no help to anybody in the past. Right? She doesn't pay attention in school. It's such a funny bit because they're like, where are the Germans going to attack? And she's like, I don't know. I don't remember. I just like, you know, it's just one if by land, two if by sea. That's all I remember. Like she like remembers these like shallow facts. And then there was somebody, I don't know who did this. I don't think it was a stand-up bit, but somebody did a sketch or something where they have a time machine, but it can only go back 5 minutes.
Oh, that's
funny.
I
think there is somebody did something like that, but the time machine only goes back 5 minutes. That's like, and if you can find that, Adam, I don't know. I don't want to overburden Adam. He's got enough to do, but that's a funny, you know, I don't want to steal that. I mean, the joke, I thought of the joke, but just in the context of the other bit, but like somebody, because you can do so many jokes with the time travel. Anyway, whatever. That's all right. I'm going to explore that.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think it goes with what you do too. You like to rant and go and different characters and stuff. So I think it's funny. You could could apply
by the way,
that.
This is another perfect, which brings me to another. I've been working on this Jim Jones bit. It's killing, okay, but I came up with another angle on it where it's like Jim Jones was a killer act, obviously. He had a lot of followers. He was a killer act, and he made them all sign a suicide pact. His followers had to sign a suicide pact, which, you know, that's why I never signed any of those service agreements online. Because, you know, what are they called? Service agreements, Adam? What are they called? Terms of service or
terms of service agreement?
Yeah. It's a term. Yeah. Whatever because you don't know what you're signing. 1 minute you sign up for some guy's email blast. The next you're drinking Kool-Aid laced with cyanide in the jungle, right? You don't know what's.
I think that's it's almost like it would be easier now to get people to sign up for Kool-Aid or drinking cyanide because it's like nobody looks at anything they're signing. So it's like, you know, it'd be so easy to be in a cult right now as long as you just had it on an iPad, you know.
Absolutely. As long as it's on, iPad is funny. Use the word iPad. It's like you're scrolling through your iPad. You don't want to scroll through your iPad. The next minute you're drinking.
It's like, do I want to sign up for a cult?
Cyanide.
Do I want to sign up for a cult? No, but I could use some new friends. You know, I need a new adventure. You know, you can make fun of like your friend circle that you already have, and you'd be like, yeah, you know.
But I have this bit where I do all these jokes like Jim Jones' last show. I'm picturing his farewell show.
Yeah.
And it was packed. It was 800 people, sold out, standing room only, but not for long.
Yeah, and they didn't have social media back then, so that's a big crowd.
Yeah, and that's a big crowd for back then. He was ahead of his time. You know, imagine if he was on TikTok.
Yeah, but, I can get 40 at the Looney Bin. You know.
Yeah, right. No, but then he goes. And by the way, that was a murder. And he goes up. Jim Jones goes up and he just murders. Okay, he just like people were gagging, and then there was a ventriloquist who was going to go on next, but he didn't want to go on. Right?
Yeah, nobody wants to follow that.
Dead. Yeah, it was a dead crowd. Right? Hello. No, but I'm talking about like that in a series of 20 other jokes, but just something about what's this? Oh, that's so funny. Oh, I love this.
That's funny.
Oh, that is genius, Adam. What was the prompt? Oh my God,
you
that's
actually
so
you
funny.
actually look good there. That's one of the more normal.
I know.
I mean,
Where'd
you
get
don't look
photo?
that good. It makes you look a little more handsome than you are, but that's what you want.
That is the best. That is the best AI picture of me. Well done, Adam. Well done. Send me that.
Yep.
I love back to the punchline. It's like if a bit doesn't work, I just hit a quantum leap, and go and try a different punchline. That is so
or
funny.
it's like Groundhog Day. You get the same audience. Oh,
Yeah.
that's very funny.
Yeah.
You get the same audience over and over, and you have to figure that's actually really funny. And then you figure out how to get this audience. Like after time,
Right.
it just keeps repeating itself. You got here you go, same audience. Hey, sir, look at you, nice shirt. Hey, whatever. It's like that's funny.
Yeah, that is funny.
Repeating an audience.
Back to the punchline. That's so funny.
Back to the punchline.
Is there a Jim Jones? I didn't want to do. Has anybody seen the show The Studio?
No, I tried. It's good. I just couldn't get into it.
It's good. It's good. But they do a Kool-Aid thing where they, Martin Scorsese wants to do a Kool-Aid movie.
Yeah. And Steve Buscemi and all.
And he wants to do it about Jonestown, and the studio wants to do it about the Kool-Aid guy because it's got product placement tie-ins and stuff. It's pretty funny, and I don't want to mix up my bit with that, but I just thought it was it would be really funny to have like Jim Jones. I talking about Jim Jones, and I go, he was the Kool-Aid guy, not the guy in the red suit. That was a different guy, right? Right.
Well, there's two types of people. There's people when you say Kool-Aid who think of Jim Jones, and then you say Kool-Aid, they think of grape. So it's like it's just funny. Yeah, our brains go to either one.
Yeah, if you think of Kool-Aid guy, I can say Kool-Aid guy, and some people go to Jim Jones, and other people go to the guy through the wall who comes running through, breaking through the wall, which is really rude, by the way. I don't know what kind of, what I mean? That guy's got boundary issues, but
yeah, I mean, I'm sure there was a lot of small claims for that guy. How many buildings he destroyed, and how many living rooms, and who's going to pay for this?
Guy.
Who's going to pay for this?
I mean, the guy you're sitting there partying with your friends as a kid, you're playing Connect 4 or whatever, and then all of a sudden some maniac comes breaking through the structure that violates the structural integrity of your.
You're trying to tell me some of those kids didn't die? I guarantee you, we lost a lot of kids. Nobody talked about it.
Nobody ever talks about that. How about what is that? What is that called? Litigation? What's it called? Disability? What's insurance on the job? What's it called? Job-related
workman's comp.
Yes, workman's comp, job-related injuries.
Yeah, that's funny.
How'd you like to be? Kool-Aid was like that guy had serious issues. I don't mean Jim Jones. I mean the guy that came through the wall.
Yeah, that's funny.
I mean, they both had issues. Yeah. Wouldn't it be funny if Jim Jones, I don't even know. I don't want to, whatever. I don't want to get in trouble for the.
You don't want to go too Kool-Aid, you don't want to go down.
No, it's not that.
Yeah.
You know what? But Dustin, the funniest thing, that there was no Kool-Aid in Jonestown? They never drank Kool-Aid.
Oh.
It was Flavor Aid.
Oh, that's
funny. It was Flavor Aid.
Even funnier.
It was a ripoff of Kool-Aid. And so I'm wondering if
how sad
Kool-Aid
is that?
People,
you give your life to this cult and you're going to give up literally your entire life. You're going to die for it. And it's not even the real Kool-Aid.
That's funny. I didn't think of that, but that's really funny. You know what I mean? And they couldn't. You would think they could have splurged and got the real product, but they got the dime store ripoff.
Yeah.
And then think if you're a Kool-Aid sales rep, you're like, I don't know, the Flavor Aid. Everyone goes, the Kool-Aid guy, and you want to go, if you're working for Kool-Aid, I don't even know what the joke is. I don't know whether they want it or they get no publicity for it, or there's something really funny about the fact that Flavor Aid, it's an actual completely different product. And then Kool-Aid, and people are still drinking Kool-Aid. That's
are
funny.
They? I don't think they are. I don't think people drink Kool-Aid. Maybe
it's on the shelves, man.
It might
it's
be
in
on
every
the
store.
shelves.
Go look.
Maybe in bad neighborhoods. I don't think most kids are drinking. And once liquid sugar juice came in like a pouch, like a metallic pouch, kids stopped drinking Kool-Aid. Capri Sun changed the game. Capri Sun and juice in a box. I know it's on the shelf, but I guarantee you the sales are not what they were in 1982. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I guarantee it. Wait, what is this?
You think they are? You think
Yeah, here we
people are
go.
still buying Kool-Aid like they were? No, they're not. Nobody's putting a cup of
Yeah.
sugar in a thing and stirring it like that.
No, but it's not like Zima, which has completely disappeared from the landscape of
I
pop
bet
culture.
it is. Nobody's drinking Kool-Aid.
I went to the store and bought some. I got some in my office right now.
No, you don't.
I had to get it because I wanted to whip a packet out and on stage.
Yeah.
But then I'm not a prop act. Let's see. Cool.
Yeah, this is a short video. I think it's less than a minute.
Oh,
Let's see.
It's not. It's just the Kool-Aid man breaking through. It's not giving us any product information on the stocks.
No, I know, but I just want to see.
All right.
I just want to see
let's do the first one.
We don't have to play
let's
it.
just see the Kool-Aid guy. Pete Rose?
Oh, Pete Rose hired him.
Right.
He hired him to do that, so it would help his betting thing that he had. Like that's funny. He's like, all right, here's what you're gonna do. Instead of hitting a home run, you're gonna bust through. That way, I get the odds on the bet that I just made.
Okay. That's really funny. He bet on it. Yeah, no one's gonna get that joke because nobody knows about this.
Well, nobody knows because they
but
can't
that's so funny.
see it because they're listening. But yeah, we just think Pete Rose is about to bat and the Kool-Aid man busts through home plate. So yeah, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to explain these
and
videos. None of our podcast does not make sense when we just go with a video.
Who had the Kool-Aid guy in your fantasy baseball team?
Right.
That's funny.
I wanted to talk about trust. I don't know how funny this is, but I think it's a thing when you spend time in like hotel rooms and different things. I think there's a trust thing that I don't understand. Like I feel like our instinct is to not trust people. Like when you interact with them, like a stranger on a subway, a person just randomly coming up and talking to you. We have those natural instincts, but we do ever since like the Tylenol thing happened when we were kids, where somebody put cyanide in a Tylenol bottle. I think it broke this trust of like, of just, you can't just, get a product and hope that it's fine. Like you have to have this kind of like, just everything is like wrapped up and everything. But at the same time, we'll go to a diner, we'll open a bottle of ketchup and not thinking that somebody put a booger in there. Like we'll use a coffee maker, not thinking that somebody might have peed in it. We'll use the shampoo, not thinking somebody put Nair in it. Like we don't, there's just this funny thing. Like nobody, like we're so trusting on a level of like just grabbing stuff and putting it in our mouth, salt, I don't know. There's just something, I don't know why I think like I look at people, I'm like, you're so trusting that bottle or that thing or what's in your room that nobody jacked with it. I don't know how funny it is, but I'm always thinking about it, how trusting we are.
Well, the specificity,
of grabbing a condiment and stuff is like, we don't think about that at all. There's no thing in our head that says, hey, when does somebody, put a loogie in this ketchup bottle?
Well, right.
I don't know how funny it is. It's just something I think about.
First of all, there's a Kool-Aid tie-in because they both use cyanide and Tylenol and the Kool-Aid. But anyway, forget about that. But forget about that. That's a segue thing. But no, it's all about the specifics on this joke. It would have to be, and I don't know how funny it is because it's almost so common that it would. Because I've heard derivations of this concept that we're so careful about this, and then we do this. Like where that's the genre that you're in, and so it has to be.
I mean, COVID could have started with somebody just licking a ketchup bottle. Like I don't know. I mean, it's like we don't know. It's like,
well, no, it has to be something very specific to you, which is I'm the type of guy that I will go out of my way to be like the most antiseptic thing. And then my girlfriend points out to me that 2 minutes later, I'm licking the, I don't even, I'm not even washing I'm on the subway and I'm grabbing banisters and I'll be sitting, it has to be really like context specific of what.
Well, I was also, even just the idea of germs is a funny thing where it's like I was hanging out actually with Andrew and some his girlfriend and stuff and another girl, and they were all sharing a water bottle, and then they asked if I wanted water. I go, no, I'm good. And then, he gave me my own water bottle. And then afterwards we went to a restaurant, and he's just like, are you like a germaphobe and whatever? And I was like, no, dude, I just don't want to swap spits on a bottle. Like, I didn't know why I was the germaphobe, because I didn't want to share water. I don't know. That's just one of my things. I will not share water with you. Maybe my girlfriend. That's about it. I'm not going to share water with anybody else. And I don't know why that's a big deal. But none of this is that great.
Right. No. I'm just thinking. Yeah. I'm just thinking like, the things. Yeah. No, I don't. I'm kind of thinking.
But germs. I don't know. I don't know if it's just germs or because I remember I saw like there's a comic. What's his name? Bob Levy or something, and he's
Bobby Levy.
Yeah, he's notorious for like putting gross stuff in the coffee machine at hotels, and like he does a whole thing on it, and he's just like peeing in them and putting like shampoo in them and stuff.
All right, well, okay, wait. Before I forget, the joke is the microphone. You're on a comedy club microphone. The microphone. You're like, you don't know who knows what punk band or heavy metal guy, has been used that microphone, and you're on stage. That's a way in.
Yeah.
Where it's like, but then I'm talking into a mic. I'm basically filleting a microphone that probably was used by, some, white snake or something. You know what I mean? Like some, like I look at the roster wherever I play. I was at a club and pick a Poison. The band Poison was playing like a week before, and I don't know what the Brett Michaels was probably filleting that same microphone, and that guy's got. And if that guy has herpes, it's the best thing in his system. I
hold it tight too. I hold it like this, so it's like I'm germing it up myself. So yeah,
I'm a germphobe, and yet I'm carrying a petri dish, a portable petri dish every night I go on stage.
But I'm not a germphobe. I don't know if that's funny or if I am.
No, but my point being that. Yeah, but something like that, where you're paranoid about certain things.
Yeah, I won't drink after you, but I'll grab this microphone that has had like 100 people on it in the past 2 weeks.
Exactly. Yeah. That if they put DNA testing for that microphone, you would find spina bifida. You would,
chlamydia. There's everything on this thing.
But you have to go back in time, like to diseases that don't exist anymore. Smallpox from from when Brett Ratner or pick a band when Jefferson Airplane was playing there in the 70s. This microphone's really old. Who knows there's a Jefferson Airplane tribute band that played the woman that played Grace Slick used to be an OnlyFans stripper. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, I like the energy of putting it on the microphone, because I think that's a funny. I don't know. I just see it when people, and especially in buffets too. It's very funny now that it's really interesting to me when we went from like a pandemic world of just completely washing down our groceries and wearing masks and whatever, and then you go to a buffet and there's people just grabbing stuff with their hands and stuff, and we're just getting food, and it's just like I don't know. It's like I think there needs to be a balance there, but somehow we're trying to go right back to how we got it.
Oh my God, that's really funny. I mean, you have to be really specific and say Golden Corral.
Yeah.
Golden Corral is your reference.
Yeah.
But that's it's almost like you ever see those movies where the people are in hazmat suits and they're like that, that's what Golden Corral is basically a virus, coronavirus or something. Don't say coronavirus, but spike protein virus distribution center.
Yeah, Golden Corral is like the monkey in Outbreak.
Yes. Have you seen the show? A Pluribus?
I have.
On Apple.
Yeah, very good.
Oh, you see the scene where they're licking the petri dishes and distributing them because they're going to infect everybody?
Oh,
have you seen that?
I guess
there's a scene.
Yeah.
They have all the. They're going to distribute, and they ship the petri dishes out to infect the whole planet with this, a foreign mind virus or something that makes everybody peaceful and connected. So it's but it's funny, everyone's licking the petri dish and putting it in the thing, licking, boom, put it in, and it's like an assembly line, and that's it can't use coronavirus; it's too weird, but. Find a word that's rhinovirus.
Oh, that's right. The beginning of the show, they licked the donuts. That's right.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's just
and that's
it's
not.
just I think the joke is just more about trust and that we just like we act so crazy for a couple of years and then now we're just back to just I don't know, it's just very interesting to me. Now we're just as gross
Well,
as ever.
but that's why I said, if you pick something that's very specific to you, and then
Yeah.
an hour later you're in Wyoming eating at a Golden Corral,
Yeah.
where some guy specific, some 300,
Yeah.
just riffing here, but 300-pound guy in a Who Farted T-shirt is scooping. You know what I mean? Like they're scooping a chicken curry and stuff out of the thing, and then sneezing. This guy's with a dripping sneeze guard. You got to get really specific.
It's funny. It's I did a joke kind of about this, but I said, during the pandemic, it's like when I took it seriously was when I was in Texas and I was in a bathroom and I saw every man wash their hands after they went to the bathroom. That's when I knew we were in a situation, because I've never seen every single man wash their hands after they go to the toilet ever in my life. And so that's when I knew we had problems, when every man is just like, washing the, hands and like, drying them. And
oh, well, then we could ramp right off of that and go, I mean, I was at this place and every guy was washing their hands. I knew that we were on the precipice of a global disease outbreak when I was at Golden Corral and a fat guy, whatever, was actually taking the time to use, and then you have to use a specific soap. Yeah. Whatever, pick a name or something like Palmolive or something, was putting Palmolive on his delicate fingers and doing it. I said, we're doomed.
Yeah.
Right. Right. That's when I realized we're doomed.
Because now I go to the bathroom and nobody's washing. There's like two dudes, and that's 2 dudes out of every 5, is washing their hands. So,
and the easiest joke is to go to because we're at an all-you-can-eat buffet. And there's like spina bifida, multiple sclerosis, and like there are different diseases on it. Like you can collect any myasthenia gravis. Hey, could I get another bowl of myasthenia gravis? It's just like cystic fibrosis. I'm scooping cystic fibrosis on my kale salad. My
well, I think we learned a
that.
lot from the pandemic that we're not doing anymore. And it's like I don't want to go back. And it's like the fist pound is something that I think it should stay. It doesn't need to go away. I don't need to, every time I go in and some dudes. I hate it when I do the fist pound and somebody they're just not giving it to me. They want to do the handshake. I'm like, I don't want to do the handshake. I just want to do the pound. It's like
that's funny. That's funny. Well, I didn't realize that connection, but I thought that same thing last night. I was at Gotham and everybody's fist pounding, and I remember thinking, "That's interesting. We're doing the fist pound. We're still doing the fist pound." When did that? That didn't start with the pandemic, though.
No, but it became popular with the pandemic. It was like it was just like an elbow. Yes. Elbows were the crazy people, and then the fist pound was like, we're still normal people, but I don't want to shake your hand. And then it's
but there's something really funny about that's going to spare me. Like that really that's going to be the.
I don't know about you. I trust my knuckles. Insulin. I trust that germs aren't on my knuckles.
Yeah, I know that, but at least with. Or you could say something like, at least when you're pounding fists, if the guy says something, you're halfway to punching him in the face. Like you don't even have to like I don't know. Shaking someone's hand,
especially if I don't know you that well. We don't have to shake hands. If just like if it's like.
Well, that's funny. We went from handshake, human connection, to fist pounding, which is very aggressive, by the way. Like it's very, and then there's the elbow thing, which is, and soon, what's the next iteration of that? That's like I mean,
it might be too dated because
somebody.
I don't know, but it's just I don't know. But the only way to not date it is to actually say things we kept, things we didn't keep, from our because I feel like we kind of washed over this pandemic thing where it's like I don't think it's funny. It's like living in New York, we had 9/11, and it was like this connection that we had, and then globally we had this pandemic connection, but it definitely didn't like stay with with anybody as where 9/11 didn't stay with anybody. Like it just like we had these moments where we're all connected and we're all in this together. And then as soon as it's, okay for it to be over, we're just like, we lost all that thing that was actually good about it. The connection part. We just whatever. We just, we all hate each other again.
So you're
Let's
saying,
go back to hating each other.
At least,
all good.
Yeah.
That's easy. Maybe hate each other. No big deal.
So you're saying that the fist bump, it gave us it popularized or the fist bump, the gospel of the fist bump. Yeah. I think we need to keep that. Yeah. Shaking hands is way too intimate. I have intimacy issues anyway. I don't want to, and you don't know where someone's hands.
And also different races, different things. It's like, it's like, sometimes somebody will, want to do some fancy, handshake. I don't know what DAP means. I don't need to bro hug you. Just let's keep it simple. Like, I don't want to pretend I'm trying to appropriate a culture or whatever. I'm just fist pound it's sports related almost. I feel like players do it. Like it should be more universal, and we should all just sign off on the fist pump. We don't need to do, the old white guy handshake. We don't need to do the high five, the up top, the down low, the whatever. I don't need any of that. Just give me this and go about your day.
Yeah. I like that. So if nothing else came out of the pandemic, we have the fist bump. Okay. And like, yes, many people died, but think about what it gave us. That's
think about the simplicity
frame,
of the fist pump and how easy it is to just keep it moving. I don't need to make eye contact. We don't need to do a handshake like I'm some salesman seminar. Just give me a fist pump. That's it. I don't know.
That's something.
It's
something there.
I just wanted to get it out of my brain. It's okay. All good.
Hey, since you mentioned cultural appropriation, in my Jim Jones bit here, this is how my mind works. When people say "drink the Kool-Aid," I wrote this, and I don't really have a joke for it, but it's like every time you say the word, everyone uses it because people don't know who Jim Jones is. But every time you say, "Oh, someone drinks the Kool-Aid," you're doing Jim Jones' bit, right? Like that's his closer. That was his closing bit. Yeah. That was, so, and every time you use that phrase, his estate gets a nickel or something like that. Yeah. I was trying to say something funny about it, but I don't really have it. But I like the idea of.
Well, the phrase is "don't drink the Kool-Aid." That's the phrase.
Yeah, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Or you drank the Kool-Aid, or somebody drank the Kool-Aid.
Okay, they drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, they drank the Kool-Aid, or he drank the Kool-Aid. But the point is, people say that's cultural appropriation. I like the word cult is in there, but I don't know how to do the joke. Like, that's real cultural appropriation. But no one gets the joke unless I say it. You know how it's one of those wordplay jokes that you have to really hit it on the nose and say, that's culture, that's real, that's death cultural appropriation.
Well, you have to say it like in a silly way. Talk about cultural appreciation,
people talk about cultural appropriation. That's cultural appropriation. Okay. Yeah, I guess you hit it up right on the nose. I think that's the only way to do it.
Yeah, I think it's like, you just kind of keep.
People talk about cultural appropriation, but that's from an actual cult. Yeah. Oh, that's fun. Yeah. Right? That's cultural appropriation from an actual cult.
Yeah. So you just kind of make it silly. Like big eyes.
That way it's not right on the nose. All right.
Yeah, I think
cultural appropriation.
I think it works.
I like the idea of a fist bump is good. There's something there. I don't know what it is, but
yeah.
Did you have any jokes for the ventriloquist? Because you're a show business guy. Of a ventriloquist having to follow Jim Jones, because he has to go up. Like they booked a ventriloquist on the show, and he didn't want to go up afterwards. And obviously, you have the dummy drank the Kool-Aid, so he died. But the dummy drank the Kool-Aid, so he couldn't go on, but the dummy got, I don't even know, but his ventriloquist dummy.
Well, you could also be like, I thought following Robin Williams was hard. This guy had to follow.
Yeah, that's true. If I do that bit, yeah. Jim Jones, tough act to follow.
Well, or you could do the bit after. You could do the bit after. You could be like,
What's that?
You could do the Robin Williams story. Like you could.
Oh yeah, that's
true. You could
that's
say it, and then you could just get into it because that's a people love that. Some sort of behind the scenes kind of thing.
I got one big vexing I have not come up with an ending for my bit about the fact that I'm an underachiever. That you know, I blame racism, and I can't blame racism for my underachievement.
Okay.
Which we can't do that here. It's too complicated. Moving on.
Whatever.
We've talked about it ad infinitum, but I've never come up with the coup de grace ending. And I've been jumping to a totally different ending, and I can do a callback to. It's a tough one. You know how like Seinfeld said, you have to have that perfect ending to a long piece to button the bit. And I have great endings for some of my bits, but this one I don't have the ending line about. I blame racism because but I can't blame racism. I'm a straight white guy. There's no sociocultural. There's no sociocultural explanation for my inability to live up to my potential. One thing about being white, you can't blame structural racism for your failures.
Yeah.
And I love all the jokes are really strong and the whole bit's killing. The audience loves it. And they can't believe I'm getting away with it. But I don't have the final punchline that buttons the
What
piece.
do you end it with?
I used to say this, and it didn't really work, and I don't know why, but I used to say, at least you can blame the man. I can't blame the man. I am the man.
Okay.
And that is a pain no marginalized group will ever know.
Yeah.
To be haunted with the knowledge that you are the sole architect of your own failure, right? Right, which is really funny and well worded, but it doesn't. It's kind of funny, but it doesn't.
I feel like this bit has tortured you because we've talked about it probably a lot, and
I
so
know,
it's like
I know.
But I'm not saying it like
that.
I'm just saying it's tortured you because you just you can't quite get it where you want to go. But I think it's like I don't think it has to have the perfect button. I think it's like also the landscape of the world changes that bit because it's like it's like a few years ago maybe racism wasn't what it is, and then the more racism is, and the more is part of everything. It's that bit's going to hit differently because it's like when a white guy says, I can't complain about, I can't call that race card. It's going to be a little more insensitive now, because it's bad, and so it's with the situation we're in. So maybe find a way to kind of like, be like, I know things are, really rough right now and whatever, and almost have a little bit of empathy about it because it's like it might help the joke just because you need a little bit of sincerity to it.
Okay, well then if that's the case, then I do have another ending, and I do this line, but I use it to ramp into the Finding Bigfoot bit. But I go, and I'm in show business. I can't even blame immigrants, right? Right? I'm an actor comedian. I can't blame immigrants. What am I going to say? Yeah, I'd have my own sitcom by now, but a bunch of guys came over from Costa Rica in a fruit truck and got my Netflix deal.
But Fluffy just sold out Dodger Stadium, so maybe there is something to it.
Well, okay. Wait. I almost had it. Wait, hold on. That's funny. Hold on. The guy sick. I would have my own sitcom by now, but a bunch of guys came over from Guatemala in a fruit truck and got my sitcom deal. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, I almost had it. It's gone.
Was it off of the Fluffy thing I said? Or?
It's something in that ballpark of like, think about the fact that I want my own sitcom, but I can't because immigrants are getting. I just love that idea.
I like an immigrant comedian. I like you like doing a kind of it might be risky, but there's something funny about if you do like the Guatemalan comedian, it's very funny to me. It's like, hey, so what's the deal? And you kind of do a voice.
No, but that, okay. You're saying, okay. You're saying a tag, but not a real Hispanic comedian.
No, not a real one, but like this, like,
right.
It's not like Guatemalans, comedians are coming over and taking our job. Hey, what that, something, I don't know.
That would work. That would work if I had him saying a line from my act that's already been said that's actually very either memorable or catchy. Like, todo ustedes, Brian McFadden, like, or something like what women want.
Hey, Adam, is there a famous Guatemalan comedian?
No. There isn't.
Take a look.
There's got to be. There's always somebody somewhere.
I'd have my own sitcom by now, but a bunch of guys from Costa Rica and a
Dude,
fruit
the
truck
leader
and got
of
my
Ukraine
Netflix
was
deal.
a comedian. I mean, you'd be surprised.
know.
Comedians are everywhere.
Yeah, no, I got that. I already wrote a bit for
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I know. But my point being that like it has to be some guy sitting in a meeting at CAA, you know. Yeah. So
they are doing that.
we
They're
really
totally doing that. They're like, oh, we need, whatever the popular, thing that is happening. Yeah.
No, but my point is but the joke is that they're like a migrant, watermelon picker or something, and they get a show.
This is
right?
He goes from picking a
that's
watermelon, and now he's smashing one. I don't know, because of Gallagher.
Yeah, I know. I got the reference. Right. Yeah, that would be funny.
Oh, that's
that would
funny.
Be funny
A
if that was
Guatemalan Gallagher. I'm sorry, that's kind of funny.
Of course, it's funny, but I would have to then explain Gallagher to people, right?
I don't think so. If you've done jokes,
yes,
dude, he's almost as popular as Scooby Doo. That guy's been around in our culture for a long time. I think you're doing Scooby Doo jokes. I think you could do a Gallagher joke.
Okay, all right. Then it's while you're on the subject of obscure references that I have to explain on stage, since we have to end this soon. You're not going to like this because I'm trying to compare. I'm trying to say that cult leader. I don't want to be a cult leader. I don't want to be Jim Jones. I don't want to be Charles Manson. And people remember Manson, they don't remember. Jim Jones. And Jim Jones was the GOAT. He had you know what I mean? Like very few people. He had 900 victims, which is like a not.
Well, the reason Jim Jones is not big, he wasn't connected to the Beatles.
Well,
when you got a whole song that's basically people associated with your cult, Helter Skelter,
Revolution, Helter Skelter.
Well, Helter Skelter is the big one. I mean, there's a book called Helter Skelter. It's about the Manson trials. Yeah, so it's like he's connected to the Beatles. Like he must have been connected to somebody that wasn't as big. That could be kind of funny when he was connected to the Monkees or something. I don't know.
Well, I said on stage the other night, I was winging it. Yeah, that's funny. No, but I said on stage I was winging it, and I said something like, Adam, if he had a lot of followers. Manson had a lot of followers. He was like Matt Rife back then, right? Like he had like a big female following, very attractive to women. He did a lot of crowd work.
He was a guitar act, though. So
no one knows that. No one knows.
Yeah,
that,
they do.
That's
why he's connected to the Beatles. He tried to sell a song to the Beatles. Like it's
No, I know, but it's
okay.
I know he sold something to the Beach Boys.
Oh, did he? Beach Boys? Okay, that's what it was.
I think it was the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'll work on that.
Yeah.
You got nothing.
You got a lot.
Anyway.
You got nothing. Is that how you end? Just
No. I'm saying
this is a good one. It was great.
Well, no, I'm saying I need to. How is Matt Rife? How are Matt Rife and Charles Manson similar?
Yeah, well, Rife has better, or so they both did crowd work. The difference is like Manson's crowd work was, hey, go kill that guy. Go murder that actress. That was his crowd work. He's like, what's your name? What do you do? Oh, I'm a butcher. Perfect.
Oh, okay, that's funny.
Okay, so
okay, Matt. Okay, so Charles Manson, they both did crowd work. Manson's was a little darker, edgier.
Hey, what do you do?
They both had a big, passionate female following. Okay, that's good. I feel like there's a third one, and I don't know what it is. How would Charles Manson, charismatic, both did crowd work.
I think Manson was a better closer, though. I don't know.
Manson was a better. You wouldn't want to follow Charles Manson. Like if there's something in the Manson thing
hype
about
on media, they both got something. I don't know.
What's that?
A lot of hype with the media. Like they're both like just
both media hyped, media personalities, both charismatic media personalities. Yeah. I don't like media personalities it feels false. Yeah. I think charismatic does it. Both charismatic, both did crowd work. Manson's was a little darker. Both had passionate female followings. Right. That's funny. That's three. Yeah, that's all I need.
Both just wanted to kill. That's all they really wanted to do.
I like that too. That's that. I wonder, without hitting that on the nose, what's the best way to say that? That's really funny. Like, because I hate when comedians, oh, he killed, you know, like I want to say that you got to hide that joke a little better. I don't know what the way to do it is. Both responsible for a lot of killing, or both did a lot of killing, or both said the word killing. I don't. It's kind of that. I don't like that.
That's fine.
Whole, hey, I killed.
No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Anyway,
awesome.
All right. That's good. That's good.
Well, we did it. We had internet service. It everything. Nobody went out. We got to do it.
Send me that Back to the Future thing.
Yeah.
And Adam has that look like he's typing Charles Manson and Matt Rife.
No, I got it.
Could you make him look a little less handsome in that AI video? Because I don't like the misrepresentation of him, in that. If you could just make him, you could like doctor it up a little bit to a little more natural.
I love that picture.
So this is what this is
that's so funny.
This is the joke that AI came up with for Charles Manson and Matt Rife.
Okay.
All right. So Charles Manson and Matt Rife prove the same thing. If you're charismatic enough, people will listen to literally anything you say. The difference is one ends in Netflix specials, the other ends in documentaries.
Not bad.
Oh,
it's not bad.
All right. Not great. I mean, it's funny that the charismatic is the thing. I knew charismatic was money. If you say both charismatic, then you go, okay, good. The frame works. You got that hooks the fish. Then you hit both. What was it? Both charismatic, both. I can't remember now.
Cult-like.
Both female following, charismatic, both. Oh, crowd work. It was both did crowd work, although his was a little darker, edgier. Manson's was a little darker. And both had passionate female followers. Yeah,
I think you might want to try an example of the crowd work, of Manson doing crowd work. I think it's kind of funny, So what do you do?
I don't know what that would be.
I'm a butcher. Hey, I got a job for you or something. I don't know. Just something about like just.
Oh, yeah. Why don't I do a Wojciech Frykowski reference? So there was something.
Now you're going in.
Yeah, I'm going to go. No, I don't want to do that because I don't want to picture. The joke is that I've managed to do the pastiche of a serial killer and a comedian without picturing Charles Manson doing stand-up. I don't want to. You know what I mean? It's just, it separates the two. And then
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a full character because I could look like Manson. I definitely have the beard and everything. So I might do a Manson doing stand-up comedy.
Fantastic.
We'll get that. That'll be ready for next week. All right, guys. Great job.
Well, folks, that's our show. It's time for us to go. Make sure to follow us. Give us a like. Drop us a comment and always subscribe. We're chasing comedy on all the socials. We hope you had a gas, had some laughs, and maybe you learned something too. Until next time, we're Brian and Dustin and we're chasing comedy.